The Miami Heat have turned the NBA upside down.
Yeah, that's right. The team eliminated the #1 seed Milwaukee Bucks last night. NBA fans know this already. Jimmy Butler's 42 points led Miami to a thrilling 128-126 overtime win. The Heat are just the 6th 8th seed in NBA history to win the first round. The 99 New York Knicks are the only #8 seed to make the finals. How about that?
Now the Heat will face the Knicks in the Eastern Conference Semifinals. The Knicks wrapped up their series with the Cleveland Cavaliers last night. They defeated the Cavs 106-95.
All right, joining us now is Bill Reiter. He's an NBA insider for CBS Sports. I can break this all down for us. You know, Bill, the head coach of the Knicks, Tom Thibodeau, used to coach Heat star Jimmy Butler. How do you think the Knicks will try and contain him with that type of insider knowledge?
Yeah, that will be the absolute focus for the Knicks and for Tibbs. And there's no lost love between those two guys. And so it's going to be about trying to get physical with Jimmy Butler and maybe learning from some of the mistakes we saw in that Cleveland series from the Cavaliers. For whatever reason, Jimmy Butler is a top 20 player in the regular season. And guys, maybe a top 3 or 4 player in the postseason. That means no more open looks, no more one-on-one coverage. You've got to double him. And you've got to make the rest of that Heat team beat you with no Tyler Hero and a brutal offense in the regular season, especially from the three-point line, forcing other guys to make shots for the Miami Heat, not named Jimmy Butler, will be the key move from, I think, Thibodeau and that Knicks team.
And, you know, the Knicks and the Heat are famous for their rivalry, especially in the late 90s. Their playoff matchups were always intense, but do you expect the similar type of intensity and excitement around this matchup in particular?
Absolutely, and maybe some extra. I covered that team, the Heat, I don't know, 9 or 10 years ago, and the ill will and the passion between the two organizations absolutely remained. And we know that Jimmy Butler was in Chicago with Tom Thibodeau, and Tibbs brought him to Minnesota. And that did not end well. These are two, I think, as Eric Spoelstra said about Butler, but it applies to the Knicks as well, psychotically competitive teams with psychotically competitive players. That's how they describe Jimmy Butler in Miami. We know that's true for Thibodeau as a coach for the Knicks. Yes, ill will, a chance to go to the conference finals, really physical teams playing great defense, and each have a superstar trying to impose their will on the other. It is going to be a sight to behold.
Now, moving on to some other teams, the Warriors beat the Kings last night, while the Grizzlies trounced the Lakers. Both of those series are at 3-2. So how confident are you that the Golden State and LA will close out those series in Game 6?
Not very. Obviously,
really?
you'd rather be up 3-2, but it's been a bizarro upside down postseason, and the West is particularly wide open. There's a reason that each of these teams, the Kings in that series against the Lakers, and that really, really talented Memphis team against the Lakers again and the Kings against the Warriors are the favorites. Now, I do think that it's likely each of those teams that are up, the Lakers and the Warriors, are able to get the win. But LeBron looked a little old in that game in Memphis, and Anthony Davis has not been consistent. So if you can get the kind of performances from Memphis, especially defensively, we've seen in the regular season, they can certainly force a Game 7. Then anything can happen. For the Kings, I think, guys, it's a tougher climb, I think, to try to get to the top of that mountain. In large part because De'Aaron Fox, even though he put up some numbers, broke that finger a couple games ago and just looked off. He was inefficient against the Warriors. And because we know Golden State it's a cliche, but they have a championship pedigree. They've won championships before. They know how to close out these series. But I've seen so many crazy things already in this NBA playoffs. I'm not saying never until it's over.
Never say never. I'm going for the Knicks. Thanks, Bill Reiter.
Thanks, Bill.